welcome everyone again to the Festival of Hope Week 3. I am delighted to be able to share a very special program with you today. As you know, our theme of the week is release and renewal. And the theme has been inspired by the high holiday of Yom Kippur, which we have been honoring all week, learning about all week. And we had a wonderful community video that was created by Sue Deutsch, who I am excited to be able to share with you today. Sue, welcome in.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So we are delighted to have you and so grateful for already the explanation you gave us in your video, but I was hoping that I could ask you, so the way that we're gonna kind of go through this half hour that we have together is I'm gonna ask Sue some questions, and then we're going to have an opportunity for us to sort of interact around the ideas of release and renewal. And then if you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask of Sue about Yom Kippur, about any of the things that she's sharing, please be sure to use your chat bar for that. So Jenny will keep an eye on the chat, make sure we see questions, but Sue and I can both see them as well. So please make sure you put those questions in if you have any questions you'd like to ask. So Sue, if you could just, for anyone who hasn't had a chance yet to see the video, can you just give us a small sort of summary of the meaning of Yom Kippur, not only from a religious perspective, but also from your personal perspective?
Okay, so Yom Kippur is translated as the Day of Atonement, and it comes 10 days after Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year. And it's said, and central to the liturgy, it says that God opens the book of life on Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the year, and then 10 days later, he either inscribes you for a good year or a bad year, but hopefully it's a good year, and you have those 10 days to change the severity of whatever God decides on. So it's not like God's going to decide this, but you have these 10 days of introspection to look back at the year and think, you know, what could I have done better? What did I do well? What do I want to grow more of? And what I want to let go of? And what do I want to say sorry for? To really, you know, that I could have done better there. I'm going to do better now. So those 10 days happen. And then Yom Kippur is a day of fasting where we actually dress in white to be both like angels and purity. And when we get buried, when we die, we're buried in a white shroud. So it's also mimicking the death shroud, which isn't to say that we're all thinking about death, but we're thinking more not about how we're going to die, but how we're going to live. And we blow a shofar, a ram's horn. And for me personally, when my husband died 11 years ago, he had been the shofar blower in the synagogue. And that was one of the many things that I had to learn to do myself. And it was quite something. The first time I did it and sound came out, I was like, yay, honey, thanks. So,
I bet.
And every time now it's like, okay. So, and I miss him at this time of year because it's traditionally a time when family gets together, and my kids have always been there and they weren't there this year because of COVID. And so I had to reach through the Zoom screen. And it's funny that as my congregation said, they actually felt closer to me. And I said to my son, how could that be? And he said, you know, you're looking straight in the camera. You're talking straight to them. You're not behind a pulpit higher up than them. You're like in their face. And I thought, wow, there's good that can come even from hard times. So this is a renewal for me. So.
One thing that I have loved about learning about Yom Kippur is this idea of an inventory, you know, of taking inventory for yourself and of walking through with intention, you know, these 10 days of awe and really being truly aware from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur of that sense of, you know, who am I? How do I want to show up? What do I want to do in the year ahead differently? Or what, you know, and also what have I done well that I want to take with me into the year ahead? when I was talking to Joanne Fink, who did our Rosh Hashanah Zoom call, she said one of the things that has struck her is how often people struggle to forgive themselves. And I wondered, is that a part of Yom Kippur as well?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, it's said that you can't ask God for forgiveness for something you did to someone else. So you have to go and ask everybody you know to forgive you for something, not that you know you did even, but that you may have said or done that you're not aware of. And that includes yourself. If you can't forgive yourself, how is God going to be able to forgive you? You've got
Yeah,
to
or how other people,
start with
and
yourself.
being right with other people, it's that sense of being able to come to ourselves and offer ourselves the forgiveness that if someone else were to come to us, we would hope to be able to be generous enough to give. And I think so often, and especially in challenging times like these, that people are maybe not on their best game. I don't know about all of you, but I have not always been on my best game over the last 6 months. But and sometimes we really judge ourselves about that. I'm not doing the things as well as I should. I'm not doing, or I've said things more harshly than I would normally if I didn't feel so stressed or worried or anxious or whatever. But I thought that it was valuable for us to bring up this concept of offering ourselves the forgiveness that someone else may come to us and ask of us, and being willing to give that to ourselves. So I hope that we, as we go into the next parts of the Zoom call tonight, just kind of keep that in mind. Start thinking about ways in which you can forgive yourself, right?
Yeah, and I particularly like something I do that I adopted that Brene Brown came up with. And that was, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I did the other. Okay, I acknowledge I did all these things. Oh, well. Oh, well. And that allows me to let go of it.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, well, I'm human. Give myself permission to be human.
Mm-hmm. And it's so important, especially when times are hard. And I love also that you brought up that you weren't with your kids for the high holidays this year. And that's the whole reason we started the Festival of Hope, was because we knew that there will be so many important family rituals where people might not have the opportunity to be together in the ways that they're used to. And like you said, here we are on Zoom, like just being together because we want the opportunity to acknowledge with our community members all of these different traditions. But what I have loved already, and it's only been 3 weeks, is all of the things that I've learned about traditions that I didn't know the details of, even if I was overall familiar with the concept or with the holiday. So I love that. But one thing I didn't know, which I'd love for you to share with us, is what comes next for the Jewish calendar.
So next, 5 days after Yom Kippur, we go straight into the holiday of Sukkot in Hebrew, and it's in English, it's the Feast of Tabernacles, where we actually sit outside in makeshift huts, and we put palm fronds on top of like wood slats that are there. And I just sit out on my patio and put, the palm fronds out, decorate it with fruit. And this is Jewish Thanksgiving. This is where it's a harvest festival, and it's the harvest in Israel, in the land of Israel, is usually in the winter, and then they have the first harvest in the springtime, and then there's fruits that are left out that are dried, and then we thank God for the bounty of we still have this harvest in the fall. So this is a Thanksgiving time, and it also celebrates the reason for the huts is that the Jews wandered for 40 years in the desert on the way to the promised land, and they were in these impermanent huts. And it reminds us of the impermanence of life and to be grateful for this present moment, because your house may be blown down, but you still have you, and you still have the harvest and the bounty. And we have something that we do in the synagogue called Hosanna. If you've seen Jesus Christ Superstar, you'll see they have these like palm fronds and they're shaking them around. And we do that on Sukkot, the Festival of Tabernacles, that there are 4 species, the palm frond, myrtle leaves, willow leaves, and the citron, which is like a lemon, a big lemon, but it smells really good. And it's supposed to represent the 4 different kinds of people. People who smell really good but taste bitter, people who have no smell and no taste, people who are like the date of the palm frond, have a very sweet taste but no smell. So all the 4 different people, and that we hold them all together and we shake them in all the directions of the planet, up and down and right and left and behind and forward, that we're all together, that we all can embrace each other. So I love this holiday. It's one of my favorite holidays.
I'm so glad you shared that, because I think that what we need so much, we need that connection and that coming together and that, you know, blending of all of the people. So I love that. And what do you do traditionally to celebrate? This would usually be a continued time of family. Are there particular traditions around this?
So this is like, we have like, oh, I forgot what it's called, but you know, when you go to one person's house and have dessert and the next,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I forget what that's called.
Called a
meal something, but
something dinner.
Progressive.
Progressive, thank you. Progressive dinner.
Okay, thank you.
Or progressive meal.
So sometimes we have that in different people's sukkahs, so we can go see everybody's, you know, dessert in this person's, and sometimes it's just a party in one person's, and usually they have those 4 species that you can do the blessing and the shaking and the and Hosanna actually means please save us. So it's again a recognition that what we get isn't just us, it's source.
Yeah.
Source. Yeah.
Beautiful. And, you know, just at the time when next week we'll be going into Canadian Thanksgiving. So that will be what we're talking about next week. And so it's the time of harvest and bounty and abundance. So I'm super happy to have included that in our conversations as well. And so one of the things that we wanted to do, so I'm going to give everyone a heads up about where we're going with this, because I want to get your minds thinking, but we are talking about release and renewal as a combination, but I want to separate them for a minute and have you think about what is something you personally would like to release as we go into the next year. So I want you to just start kind of letting that stew a little bit. What would you like to release? So we're joining right now with the Jewish community and entering to a new year. And so we have an opportunity as a group here to consider what would we like to release. And that could be anything from, you know, something specific that you're struggling with, something that you feel you've carried for too long. I'm giving you carte blanche to put whatever it is that comes to mind. What I'd love for you to do when you have it is if you would add it to the chat, and it can be a sentence, it could be a word, it could be, and of course this is just voluntary. I will call out the words, but not necessarily the people. So remember though that your name does show, so your name will show in the chat. But I would love to just start as a group to start thinking about some of the things that we want to release. And so I will begin because I will give you guys a chance to talk about it or think about it yourselves. I'm also going to call them out as I see them. So, and Sue, I will turn it over to you next. And then we'll keep going. I'll keep reading and going as we go along. So I will start by saying Mary is ready to release anxiety about the things that she cannot control. And Jenny is ready to let go of negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. I am working to release expectations around how everything is going to be and allow it just to be what it is. So often I get stuck on how I think it should look. And honestly, the Festival of Hope is an absolute expression of that, because usually my holidays look like A, and I have to just release that and know they're going to be whatever they are, but they could be this as well. And so I'm super grateful for that. But that's my release. And then Brenda says she'd like to release fear and anxiety about things, especially health problems. So all of these I'm calling out. We just want you all to know we're holding you as you're releasing these as well. L. Levitt would like to release fear. Sue, I'm going to turn over to you and then I'll keep reading.
Okay, so I would like to release pleasing the desire all the time to please other people and to put myself last. And I would like to release the fact that I always think I have to be in control of everything, that just let it go, let it go. And actually the Hebrew word for repentance is teshuva, which actually means to turn around, to return. So I want to return to myself, and I can't control everything. Let it go.
Beautiful. Nikki would like to release fear in here already, and so many things, especially health, and also releasing hopelessness. Colette is ready to release expectations for what my future will be now that I have an empty nest. Maddie, the question of the hospital and surgeon were at fault, letting go, releasing the question of if the hospital and surgeon were at fault when his wife died. That's a big one to release, I bet. Anxiety is something Wendy would like to release. Jill is ready to work on releasing. She would like to reduce feelings of guilt for things I could not change. We're releasing that with you. And let's see. Nikki is releasing wishing things were how they used to be. I bet a lot of us are doing that with you. Allow forgiveness to look forward to the future. And I know I missed one, so bear with me 1 second. Lynn would like to release anxiety over doing too much at once. ST is going to release a need for control. Nikki is releasing feeling alone. Kath is releasing wishing that I could do everything perfectly. If you have anything to add, you're welcome to continue adding them. But I just want us to take a minute to pause and hold on for a minute to the thing that you want to release, and then open your hands. So pull them close together to think about what you're releasing, and then we're just going to open our hands and let it go. And as we work together to step into the new year, we're going to step into the new year having released what we've just spoken or written. Laura's going to release self-criticism and negativity. So hands are open as we let them go. And I'm going to ask you to draw them back in, because the next piece of what we would like to do is exactly what Sue said. Sue, could you give us the Hebrew word again for turning around?
Teshuva. Teshuva.
Shuva.
Yeah, there's a beautiful song that goes with that. May I sing it just a little?
Yes, please.
Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to what you are, return to who you are, return to where you are born and reborn again. Return again, return again. Return to the land of your soul.
Oh, it's the beautiful, beautiful expression of what's next, which we want to return. And as we step into the new year, what would you like to renew? So we've done it with our releasing. We're going to do the same thing here. Think about something you would like to renew as we step into the next year. And I will again read those out as they come in. Starting with myself, I would like to renew contentment and being able to be content in the moment and just find rest in that contentment. It's easy to think about what we don't have, but I really want to stay focused, especially as this year comes to an end, on what I do have. So I would like to renew contentment. And Laura says she would like to renew joy, finding it all around. Nikki would like to renew joy and laughter. Sue, I'm going to turn it over to you and I'll keep reading.
Okay. I would like to renew my health. I'm working really hard on taking care of myself. I really want to build back up my health, renew my health.
Beautiful. Brenda would like to renew peace of mind. Colette would like to renew being present in each moment. ST would like to renew peace and love. Dawn would like to rediscover her creativity. Maddie would like to renew solace. Nikki would like to renew love, a loving relationship, and with a new partner. Kath would like to renew her joie de vivre. I don't know how to say that properly, so sorry for this. Thank you, Kath. Thank you, Sue, for the help. Elle Levette would like to renew health and fitness. Wendy would like to renew calmness. I'll continue reading if more pop up, but we're going to do the reverse. So what I'd like you to do is open your hands. So we're going to lift our hands up. You're thinking of what it is you would like to bring in. So this time we're going to bring those hands together and pull them down to your heart. So now that we've practiced it, let's do it together. So I want you to hold in your mind the thing that you have just expressed you'd like to renew. Say it to yourself a couple of times in your head, and on the third time, bring those hands in and to your heart. And together we're renewing each one of these stated, expressed desires. I want to add that Mary would like to renew fitness and positive self-thinking. Lynn would like to renew hope. Nikki would also like to renew hope for health and vitality. Jill would like to renew excitement over new things. I love this beautiful list we've created for stepping into the new year, and what a beautiful collection of renewals. If I see any more coming in, I will bring them up, but I've asked Sue if she would bless our new year. And she also shared with us something Star Trek based, which we thought was super cool. And we asked her if she would also share with you. So if I see any other pop up, I really will make sure we express everyone's. And if I missed yours, please type it again, because I don't want any renewals to be missed stating out loud. But I am going to turn over to Sue to ask her about the blessing. Tell us about the blessing, if you would, and then we'll end with that blessing.
So this is a blessing that was traditionally given by the priestly tribe, they're known as the Kohanim, the Kohen, and they bless the congregation in Orthodox every Saturday, every Shabbat, and in other congregations it's only on the holidays. And you're not supposed to look at them because they actually use a sign like this with their hands, and it's said that God's countenance, God's shine light comes through their hands, and if you look at it you might go blind because it'd be so bright. So this you may have seen from Star Trek. Leonard Nimoy was Jewish, and when they were thinking up a blessing for the what was it, who was he part of?
He was part of the what's the name of it?
Enterprise.
Kath, you're gonna win all the points.
I hope there's prizes.
It's true, Enterprise. It's the Enterprise.
My joie de vivre is really starting to go.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
no.
Enterprise was the name of the ship. I'm thinking of the name of
right.
the people that Spock came from.
Oh yeah, the Vulcans.
The Vulcans. Okay, so his Vulcan prayer was actually a Jewish prayer, and he just boiled it down to live long and prosper. But it actually comes directly from the Bible, and the words are Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God turn God's face to you and show you grace, be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God show you kindness, turn God's face to you, and grant you peace. and they actually sing it. It's a call and response. So I, as the cantor, sing out each word, and then the priests repeat it. It's really quite a beautiful ceremony.
Beautiful. Sue, what a blessing. Thank you so much. I'm going to say before we go that Jenny would like to renew her commitment to learning and expansion, and that Nikki would like to renew a new, joyful, connected, expressive, healthy life. On that note, friends, I thank you so much for sharing your release, what you'd like to release and what you'd like to renew, for being a part of this community. Everyone's thanking you in the chat, Sue. You've been so wonderful. And what a beautiful way to end. What a perfect blessing for the year ahead. I thank you all so much for being here. I will look, so don't forget tomorrow night's entertainment. Jenny, could you just give us a second about that? We're like 2 minutes left before we close up.
So tomorrow's evening live performance will be from a vocal meditation and sound healer. Her name is Kima Bellardo, and we are so excited to welcome her to our Festival of Hope virtual stage that will be shown on our Facebook page, as well as the Festival of Hope website. I can add that link into the chat real quick before we all go, but she creates mantras and she puts them to music. And so she'll play a hand drum and she'll sing to us these beautiful melodies that she's created on a repetitive basis to instill that mantra into our hearts. And so it's going to be a beautiful ceremony tomorrow as well.
It's the perfect end to Release and Renewal Week. It sort of brings in all of the energy of, you know, drawing in what you want to have with you and releasing what no longer serves you. So if you aren't able to join us live, no worries, because we are filming, so you will have an opportunity to watch it, but I highly recommend it. Kima is amazing. Her voice is beautiful, and I can't wait to hear all of the variety of instruments that she's going to share with us tomorrow. So Jenny's put the link in the chat so you know where to find it. Remember, you can find all of the videos and all of the performances live streaming from Soaring Spirits website on the Festival of Hope page. This group, the Zoom calls, are the only thing that are private live. So I'm really love sharing it with all of you. Thank you for coming and being a part of our live Zoom calls. I know that people watch the videos later, and some people, the timing, we did the best we could, but it's lovely to have you with us. So thank you so much, everyone. Be well and have a good rest of the evening. Sue, thank you. It was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.